Before I talked to my husband, I decided to do some investigation. I started with his phone and read all the messages between him and Sarah. She badmouthed me a few times. He did nothing to defend me but didn't engage either. She was flirty. He wasn't flirty back. They talked a lot, and he praised her frequently for her work ethic and intelligence. I didn't see anything about cheating. I checked his email, nothing. I checked his work email, nothing. I looked through our other devices, nothing. I searched high and low for a second phone, nothing. Everything I found was always dancing that line. Nothing was outright cheating, but here are the things I did find that hurt my feelings. He has lunch with her and only her every day in the office. They don't really like anyone else, so they criticize others and say, let's talk more at lunch. They're serving XYZ today. He'd say things like, I'm sure if you were a wife, you would do XYZ. He always kept it as a wife and not my wife, but it still upsets me. She admitted to breaking the mug on purpose. He didn't get upset with her, just said, yeah, the photo gifts are kind of corny. I confronted him. I laid it all out, and while he wasn't getting upset, he did try to brush things off. He said I was being sensitive and overreacting. I told him if we didn't have a real conversation about this, I would file for divorce. That got his attention, and he sat down with me. He admitted that at first he found it odd that Sarah was trying so hard. Okay, so he does know. He saw her trying hard with all the men in the office. The more attention she gave him, the more he enjoyed it. The more he responded, the more attention she gave, until she had her sights on him. He knew some of the other men were envious, and he liked that too. He admitted that eventually he just got too deep. He said he knew it was wrong, but had gotten addicted to the attention and didn't want her to move on to another man. Still cheating. That's emotional cheating. So he indulged her sometimes at my expense. He said it was just nice to have two women in two major parts of his life, stating that he knew we'd rarely see one another, so what was the harm? He reiterated that he never ever physically cheated with her, but admitted it could be called an emotional affair. It was painful. I won't hide that, but I mean really painful. Like I wasn't enough. I told him from this point on, he needed to stop communicating with Sarah and ask to be transferred or switch jobs altogether. Now, folks, I mean it when I tell you this. He lost his... He's fighting for Sarah and to be around Sarah, but he's not fighting for his marriage. He began raising his voice, saying things like he never cheated, it was all above board, and I couldn't control who he talked with at work. He called me a narcissist and a control freak. He told me I had no idea how hard it was, how much stress he had in the office, and that his personal relationship with Sarah helps a lot. Taking it away would just damage his mental health. You know what else would damage his mental health? A divorce. A very messy divorce. It got so bad that I started crying. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to leave. I packed a small bag and called my mother-in-law. She's the only family I have here. I gave her a rundown of what's going on, and she offered her home to me. Interesting that you went to the mother-in-law. I'm curious to know what she says and does about this. I'm staying here and just hoping my husband calms down so we can revisit this. I want it to work out. I love him more than anything. I understand that you love this guy, but like, what the dude? So we have another update. Well, I'm back. First, I want to address some of the negative comments. To all the people saying they're team Sarah and hoping Sarah and my husband get together. I even saw a nasty comment saying Sarah and my husband would be the office power couple. How can you sit here and say nothing is going on? You claim my husband didn't cheat and I'm being crazy, yet in the same breath, wish they would get together? You're contradicting yourself because deep down, you know something romantic was developing. Now for the update. My husband came to my mother-in-law's house. She didn't call him. He knew I was there because I told him and said he wanted to talk. Some big things happened in such a short time. He wanted to explain. According to my husband, after I left, he started to reflect. He did call his mom and they had a long talk. I didn't know any of this. She asked him if he was happy with me and he said yes, but I made him extremely happy. I was a good wife and great partner. This is kind of what it all sunk into him, that he was being juvenile for wanting attention from another woman. He said he couldn't explain, it just felt good. Oh my goodness. I'm rolling my eyes for those of you who are just listening. He assured me he never wanted to sleep with her and never advanced things that way. It was just nice having someone who was fawning over him like a fan. For those of you who said he didn't know what an emotional affair was and was just agreeing with me, you were right. He admitted that he didn't really understand what an emotional affair was, but after looking it up, he agreed that's what it was, though unintentional. He said he didn't want to lose his friend, so he just went along with a lot of what she did. He admitted that he was deep into a fog, but me leaving and this conversation with his mom was the one thing that brought him out of it. He said he didn't want to fight. My husband is big on giving me space, so when I left, he didn't chase after me because he thought it would be best for us to just cool down and think about this and hopefully come back and discuss it more rationally. He did reach out to Sarah. Though they didn't meet in person, they had a phone call. He told her they couldn't remain as close, that their office texts and calls needed to stop, that he would get a replacement mug she wasn't to touch, and that they needed to cut back on their lunges. He wanted to handle this before talking to me to show he was serious. Sarah didn't take it well. She started berating me, saying I was forcing him to do this. My husband stopped her and said no, he was doing this because his marriage was important. He admitted to letting things go too far, but clarified he had no romantic interest in her. He told her if she had feelings for him, she needed to distance herself immediately. I'm not gonna lie, I do like where this is going. I just wish that he did this sooner. I don't know, we're never wrong, right? Like, there's some of us that are like damaged and like, you know, maybe we're projecting because like when your wife is telling you that she is uncomfortable with the situation and people are disrespecting her, believe her. Sarah ended up ruining their friendship herself. Though my husband was willing to maintain a more distant friendship, her comments about me and him, claiming she'd never want him and that everything she did was because she knew we weren't meant to be together, and she was trying to open his eyes. Open his eyes? To date somebody else who didn't want him? No. Her ego is hurt. She did want him. Nobody spends that much time with another person if they're not interested, you know? He said he couldn't believe he'd never seen how vindictive and awful she was. She was almost venomous. It didn't end well. After handling that situation, he came to see me, wanting to ensure I knew he understood and was taking the proper steps. He said we could do whatever I needed. I know some of you will say I'm wrong, that divorce is the only option because he had an emotional affair. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm not divorcing my husband. Okay. At the very least, therapy, counseling is definitely needed. I wish that he had done all of those things sooner and not when just he was afraid of losing you. But he did do them, so that's a good step. And hopefully in the future, he will be better. I would log that away, you know what I mean? Like, just keep it in your psyche and pay attention to little things and trust your instincts because you were right. I told him we needed counseling for both of us. Yes, going through all his devices, emails and texts might have been extreme. He agreed it felt like a breach of privacy, but understood given the circumstances. I told him we both needed to work on things. As of right now, I guess you could say we're separated. We're not staying in the same house. We're going to attend counseling. I don't want to just jump back into things with him. I don't want it to seem like it was okay to make me feel like I was the second option, to ignore all those red flags and to brush me off. This has to be worked on. I'm leaving his mother's house and staying with a friend. Okay, I'm really proud of you. I feel like this is good. I'm not sure if anyone's going to want an update after this. Sorry, it's so anticlimactic. Sorry, it's the typical. Oh, and you just got back together. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I love my husband. I know he loves me. I don't think everything is an end-all be-all. Yes, it's a terrible situation. Yes, he did a terrible thing, but I want my marriage to last, so we're giving it another go. I genuinely hope this is my last update, but if it's not, spoiler alert, it's not, y'all will know. Thank you for all the messages, all the support, and everything. It's really been a huge help. The next update was actually deleted or removed, but we do have it. Oh, I got it for you.